Hey everyone, back out on the field. Little chilly today. I came out here to do a really important video on connection and staying connected in the golf swing. But first, I need I need to have this little discussion because this may be the most important video you ever see when it comes to golf. And I'm going to title it How to Learn Golf. I got a comment from a guy, and I did this last video where, I did this video on the lag, and I was kind of like questioning the right elbow and what it does in the swing. And I've always known there's guys who get wide and guys who are very narrow. And I did this video on wide versus narrow and how I have noticed throughout the years, things that can affect your game or your golf swing according to whether you're wide or narrow. So I know for a fact from my observance that people who are narrow, who get more bend, are just much better out of bunkers. The club comes up and it's just something that I've noticed. So I got this comment from a guy, and he's like, this is way too complicated, and the downswing's a nanosecond. I can't be thinking about my right elbow. And it's really important that you understand that, learning the golf swing is you learn all these different things, and it's not like you apply every bit of it all at the same time. So I play guitar, and I may spend 20 minutes finger picking, and I may spend 15 minutes doing tremolo picking. I may spend a half hour doing scales. But when I play guitar, I'm not finger picking and tremolo and scales all at the same time, right? But these are just like tools in the toolbox. A golf swing, and I may have said this before, it's like having a car, a race car, and you're driving the thing, and if it breaks down, it's nice to know how to fix it. Like one guy, if the car breaks down, he's kind of screwed, and the other guy can get out, and he knows just what to do. The guy who doesn't know what to do, he's got to go to a golf pro, and the golf pro, will give him one thing to do, and then he'll go home and overdo it, and then he comes back to the golf pro, and, so I'm trying to create a golfer here who is more of like a Swiss Army knife when it comes to the golf swing. And, to a person who, when I talk about the right arm, narrow and wide, maybe that video doesn't apply to you. A lot of golf instruction doesn't apply to a lot of people, but knowing these things can be very beneficial in your golf game. If you stink out of bunkers, and I know I've seen it, people who get this elbow really wide, they just stink out of bunkers. They're not the guys who are like handsy and they kind of get the club up and they stay narrow. They're really good out of bunkers. That's just something I've noticed. So this is just knowledge that can help you. There is a skill to learning. So I watched this really interesting video, and it was a bunch of Japanese researchers, and they studied people who mastered any kind of activity, whether it's a musical instrument, sports, anything. And the Japanese term was Shu-Ha-Ri, and there's 3 stages: Shu-Ha-Ri. And it was a really interesting video. And this is all kind of backed by science. So people who master things, this is how they go about it. They learn they go through this painstaking process of learning the basics. So in golf, that may be the grip, it may be the stance, the backswing. These are very basic things that we learn. And actually, the video was based on a story who was a samurai. And the samurai, and he said it was kind of a true story. I don't know if it was true or not. But this samurai wanted to become a master samurai. And his master taught him the basics. Taught him all these and it was painstaking. He had him go into a position and stay there for 5 minutes till he was, or 10 minutes till he was in pain. And he learned these positions. And then once he learned that, the master sent him to all these different samurais. And he had to learn all these different type of techniques. And when he learned, and then eventually he became this master. And then he would be a samurai, and he would just fight with instincts. And guy would come at him and he wouldn't think, and he would win the battle against the guy. So you may be in the shoe part where you need to learn the basics, right? But it's really cool, in my opinion, and I'm giving you advice on how I've learned the golf swing, and how it may be a little detrimental to me because I have this real interest in learning. Like when I see something like a different technique, I want to kind of investigate it and I want to learn it because I like to teach people. So I spent a long time doing stack and tilt, weight forward, real flat swing, and this kind of follow through. I did that. Jimmy Ballard was really influential when I learned to play golf. That was another swing where I had the things under my arms, which is when I do my video on connection. I'm going to tell you how that was helpful but also detrimental. But all these different techniques and all this different knowledge has kind of made me like a Swiss Army knife when it comes to hitting a golf ball. So, one thing really interesting, I played for a long time. There's a guy on YouTube, and he teaches this hammer grip, this really strong left hand. And I did it for a while, and I found that with the strong left hand, I'm kind of like hitting down and blocking these shots, and I can just rip these low fades. I can work the ball left to right. And now, there's actually a hole in this stupid little course I play, and the second shot, you just got to rip it around the corner, left to right, and this is what I do. I grab it with my old hammer grip, and I go wham, and I hit down on that thing, and I just slice it around the corner. And there's people who don't know how to do that. And I've seen them on the golf course, and they hit it, they're right, and they got a little tree in front of them, and I go, well, just slice it around. And they go, well, I don't know how to do that. I'm like, you've been playing golf for 30 years, 40 years, and you don't know how to slice a ball. So to me, that's crazy. That's not, and you look at pros, they are very refined as to their shots. They hit the same shot. They don't diverge from that shot shape. But I've seen them. When they need it, they got it. When they need to hook it, they hook it. And when they can slice it, and it so they have mastered, the game. Interesting one, Gary Player can swing like anyone. He is obviously a master at golf. He would do these. He can swing like, Arnold. He can swing like Jack. He can take the club up here and hit it. He can take the club around like Ben Hogan and hit it. That's what it means to be a master at what you do. The point is, it's very important that you learn how to learn a skill. And I commented, this guy's like, oh, it's too complicated. He goes, how can I think about my right elbow? The golf swing's a nanosecond, the downswing. And to you, it may seem like a nanosecond to you, but first of all, it shouldn't. Like a nanosecond's really fast. But you got to learn to slow things down. When you learn a guitar solo, you got to play. If you can't play it slow, you can't play it. That's all there is to it. So you need to slow things down when you learn something. You need to be aware of the movements, and then you put it all together. I mean, I know I like to teach the natural motion of the swing, but it's also, and I've talked about this, you have to somewhat hit some positions when you're doing this motion. And knowing where those positions are is super important. Like, I can't learn a guitar solo if I can pick and move my fingers. If I don't know the solo in my head, I can't play it, right? So you need to know in your head where you want to go to make that actually happen. So there's, like I said, there's just an art to learning. And, I remember when I was in computer school, and this was so long ago, we were learning DOS, and you had to type in commands to make things work. And I was very good in computer school. And I was like, and there were these girls, and they were like trying to do this project, and it wasn't working. So they just started guessing, and they're like typing in these commands. I'm like, it's a computer. You can't just guess. Get the book out, find the commands. But this is how people learn golf. They're guessing. They're like, let me try this. Let me try that. It's completely insane. It's insane. Okay. And there was a time when, I was definitely guessing. Like I would be like on the range and now I get on the range, I hook one, I fix it. I hit it right, I fix it. Like 3 swings, it's gone. So that's what it takes to learn golf. I get in a bunker, it's firm sand, I know what to do. It's soft sand, I know what to do. I need to hit it high over a bunker, I know how to open the face. It's like literally like you're the driver and the mechanic. Brian Manzilla was a great instructor. I watched like hours and hours of his instructional videos. They were actually videos for instructors. I bought them from him, paid a lot of money, watched them. He talks a lot about patterns. He has 13 patterns in his own game, and he's settled on pattern 13 at the time of the video. And the thing was, he literally said, he goes, sometimes I tee it up and I see the ball curving left to right, and I have to resort to pattern 7 or pattern 6, So, like Sam Snead said, you play the shot you have that day, but you better know how to play that shot. In other words, it really helps to just know a lot. But you can't, get on the range and just be like this. You can't be like these girls just throwing in commands, thinking it's going to work. It's called deliberate practice. Right? It's very important, okay? Deliberate practice, this is another technique that masters use to master things. If I'm playing a solo and I keep fudging one part of that solo, I can't just keep playing the solo, play it over and over again, it'll work. It doesn't work that way. Repetition does not make you better. Deliberate practice is, okay, I keep screwing up this part of the solo. Why? Well, my pick is moving up. It should be moving down. I'm getting tense at that part of the solo, whatever it is. That's deliberate practice. So I'm going to keep going on this because, bad practice is terrible. It's not going to help you. And panic is definitely not going to help you. You can't be like, oh, this is too complicated. If it is, then relax. Just relax. I have a drill. I'm working on it. It's transformed my swing. It's really good. And it goes back to the philosophy of my channel that I can use forces to teach myself how to swing a golf club. But when you do it, you have to be deliberate. You have to do it correctly. You have to do it frequently. You can't just be haphazard when you do it. So, look, am I going to make everyone good at golf? I wish. Definitely not going to happen. And I honestly think that one of the main problems in making people better at golf is, like I'm just telling you, they don't know how to practice. They don't know how to control their mind. The mind is a very powerful thing. So, when you go to practice, frustration does not help you when you practice. So, and believe me, you get frustrated. I don't really get frustrated anymore. See, I don't get frustrated anymore ever practicing, because when something goes wrong, I'm like, boom. I pull out my Swiss Army knife and I go, well, I need a screwdriver, or I need the flathead. That frustration comes from a lack of knowledge. Frustration is when your car breaks down, right? Your car breaks down. You ever see the car breaks down and he's under the hood and he doesn't know where he's going, doesn't know what he's looking for? That's frustration. A mechanic shows up, the car breaks down, and he goes, well, it's your alternator. And he pulls the alternator off, does whatever, right? That's why he's not frustrated, because he knows what to do. He knows where to go. Frustration is from a lack of knowledge. And there are videos on YouTube that are excellent at teaching how to learn. And it's very important, how to master a skill. I use them with guitar. You know, one thing they say is really good with guitar is do it 3 times and then relax, right? So hit 3 shots and then sit back and think about, well, what did I do? Did that work? You know, one thing that, and I was going to do a video about learning that your body will fight you to learn any movement that you try to change. It's going to battle you till the cows come home. And doing these kind of motions away from the ball is the best way to learn the golf swing. And even Rory McIlroy said I do most of my practicing away from the ball, like 80%. So drills, the ball, and I'm going to show you some stuff on my next video about connection, where you can learn connection away from the ball, and it will apply to your golf swing. But anyway, I don't know how long this video is, but I thought this was really important. If you don't know how to learn and how to practice, none of this is going to help you. And I firmly believe for people to know too much, like to think that knowing a lot will make you worse, is completely insane. Okay? Knowledge can only make you better. It's how you apply the knowledge. And practicing and using your brain in the correct way, deliberate practice, okay? So to this guy who's saying, oh, it's too complicated with my right elbow. Well, first of all, did you even video your swing? Do you know what your right elbow is doing? You know, are you hitting it great and you're happy with your game? Then who cares, right? If you're hitting it good, who cares? Okay, so, but anyway, I mean, I did that last video on why versus now because I was looking at my swing, and now, so from that video, I've started to investigate this concept of the arm getting wider on the downswing. I hit balls, there's something to it, okay? So I'm telling you right now, and I've never hit it as good as I've hit it the last couple days in my life. So at 61 years old, I'm hitting it better and better and better. And mostly because of this channel, mostly because you've inspired me to, you know, get my game better and maybe play some more golf and, you know, get back to where I was a long time ago. Better than I was a long time ago because I'm hitting it better than I was a long time ago. But, so that's it. So now I'm going to do a video on connection and, but I thought this was maybe the most important video you watch. All right, like, subscribe, comment, and please share the videos too. Sharing's important. I want the channel to grow. I'm trying to make people good at golf, hopefully. All right, take care.